Globally, it is estimated that 1.3 billion people live with some form of visual impairment.
And many of the people living with this disease are not aware that there are effective interventions available to prevent them from going blind.
Most people in the past usually attribute blindness to old age, a reason why many are left at home to be consumed in the darkness of blindness. Several optical issues can be cured or managed properly if presented early to hospitals, as against the old belief. The medical director at Katsina Eye Center believes that ICAMS encourages the old and unprivileged people to present their eye cases for medication whenever the opportunity comes.
In the past, when somebody is not seeing, he will be considered, when he's old, there's that saying, that when you are old, you either lose sight, lose teeth, or lose hearing. But people didn't know actually that it's a curable form of blindness. So with this awareness now, we have, an increased cases actually of those, that access services.
This eye camp is organized annually by Katsina Health Services Management Board in conjunction with Mangal Foundation to assist in reducing rate at which eye problems are increasing in society.
It's very important for the government to make their contribution towards saving the lives of so many less privileged and the poor. There are so many people from the village areas that have been trooping in, having eye problems, you see, but they cannot afford.
The organizers equally want more individuals and organizations to invest more in such social services to the people.
There's increasing number of the people having the eye problems at that age, but the services rendered is being increased too, in which that we are hoping for the Vision for All by the year 2020.
Over 5,000 beneficiaries are expected to benefit from different services during the exercise. Abdulatif Yusuf, TVC News, Katsina.
Now is a consultant ophthalmologist and Vice President of the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria, Dr. Abiola Oyeleye. It's good to have you join us at this time.
Thank you very much.
All right, so talking about blindness, let's talk about preventive measures, because some of us just go on, we touch our eye, it's itching, you just dip one finger in without minding how soiled the hand is. Yeah. How can we prevent blindness?
Okay, the most important factor is having an eye test regularly. The reason being that a lot of conditions can be detected at the eye test without the individual having symptoms. The one that readily comes to mind is glaucoma. And glaucoma is the second most common cause of blindness in this environment and all over the world. Unfortunately, the type of glaucoma we have in this part of the world, there are no symptoms in the early stage. So unless you go for a routine eye test, this may not be detected. If you leave it without an eye test, sometimes some people come totally blind in one eye or nearly completely blind before it's diagnosed.
How affordable are these tests, eye tests?
Eye tests are easily very affordable. Depends on how much in-depth they go to. But I can assure you that having an eye test is much cheaper than living with blindness.
All right, so can blindness be cured, treated?
It depends on what the cause is. The number one cause, cataract, is completely reversible. So if it's due to cataract, that can be cured. Number two cause, glaucoma, is not curable. However, medical advances have got a situation that you can stop it from progressing by the time you get to that diagnosis, but it's not curable, but it is treatable.
All right, so what actions now should we as individuals stop to be able to stay off blindness and live with our sight?
I think the first thing everybody should do is have an eye test. If you've not had an eye test within the last year, arrange to have an eye test. That's the first thing we need to do. If you have glaucoma in the family, that's another reason why you should have regular annual eye tests.
When you talk about regular, how regularly?
Every year. If you have glaucoma in your first degree relatives, i.e. your father, your mother, or your siblings, then you should have an eye test every year. If you are diagnosed with glaucoma, then it needs to be more frequent.
All right, and Dr. Abiola Oyeleye, Vice President of the Ophthalmological Society of Nigeria. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right. When it comes to the issue of visual impairment, a lot of people certainly is something no one would like to have later in life and all of that, because vision is said to be the number one thing you need to have before other aspects of sound health. But why are people more at risk of visual impairment now? The statistics say about over 1 billion people across the world.
Right. There are many factors, okay? First of all, there are what we call genetic factors,
Right.
and then there are environmental factors. And I think probably what we want to discuss today are those that are either preventable or avoidable. Now, the number one cause of blindness is cataracts, and most cataracts are due to age. The older we get, the more likely we are to get cataracts. So if we are 40-year-old, a certain percentage may have cataracts, and the older you get, more people have cataracts. Now, a cataract is basically the clouding of the natural lens in the eye. So it's just like saying, as you grow older, we expect you to get cataracts, and it's inevitable. Everybody will get cataracts if we live long enough. Now, cataracts, what are the things that could predispose to cataracts? There are a lot of things. Even the ordinary sunlight can predispose to cataracts. So it's not something that you can avoid. However, the good news is that it's totally curable, i.e., if you do an operation 20, 30 minutes, the vision is restored.
How often are people coming for checks when it comes to, okay, I'm getting to the age or I'm noticing something about my eyes now and I have to get it checked or something? How often is that?
That's a very good question. We're not coming for checks enough, or we're hardly coming for checks. Now, some diseases may be silent, and you need a routine test to pick them up. Sometimes people aren't aware that they have eye problems. Sometimes, for example, in school, some children may be underperforming because they need glasses. But everybody believes, oh, he doesn't know it.
At the age of the level of children where they have this, would you classify that as genetic, the one you said genetic?
Okay, there's some children born with some certain eye conditions.
Okay.
And it's in the genes, it's passed on from one generation to another. And those are the ones we refer to as genetic.
Okay.
There are some genetic illnesses, for example, congenital, you hear congenital cataracts, congenital glaucoma. So if you check their genes, it's been passed on from one generation to another.
All right. I wish there were enough time for us to talk about the cure and prevention and all of that, but I know there'll be opportunity for us to talk about this. Thank you very much, Dr. Abiola Oyeleye, for joining us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.